book besties, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Delaney if you are new here. If you are not new here, you might realize that we have a new addition to the shelves behind us. What used to be 2 shelves has grown into 3, and with that it feels like it's finally time to do one of my most requested videos of all time, and that is a book room slash bookshelf tour. I feel like I get so many questions on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, and my Patreon. Like, everyone wants to know how I have my shelves organized, and honestly, it's not that deep. I feel like I haven't wanted to do this video because there's really not much rhyme or reason to how I organize my shelves. They're not color coded, they're not like super fancy. I don't think they're anything to write home about, but I appreciate the hype and I appreciate that you guys want to see them. So when I finally built my 3rd shelf, my mom and my sister came and helped me like actually build the shelf, and then I spent hours like putting together the books the way that I want them. They were probably still going to change and shift, and I will be tweaking things for sure, but it's forever a work in progress. It's forever evolving, forever changing. But I feel like it's a good time now that we now have the 3rd shelf built to do a book room tour, because everyone has been asking me to do one. So I am listening. Let's do it. So my book room, I'm going to give you kind of a brief overview of the entire room. It's my office and my book room. So I do my like 9 to 5 job. I work for myself. I own 2 businesses. So I do like my coaching is my other job, like virtual coaching. So I do that in here, and then also like reading and filming and all my content creation obviously is in here. This is my favorite room in my house. It really, really is. I bought my own house last November, and building this room has been probably the most exciting for me because I just love my books. Like, it's always been a dream of mine to have my own little library, and we're getting there. Like, I really have a full wall of books. I have multiple walls of books you're gonna see. I'm pretty happy with how it's growing and evolving. So I digress. I'm not going to yap for too long. We can get into the actual tour, but I wanted to introduce and just kind of let you know what to expect and what's going on. All right, I'm going to pick you up and kind of give you a brief pan of the room so you can kind of orient yourself, and then we'll get into the actual books. All right, so when you walk in the door, you just see like this view, which isn't the most beautiful view. My personal favorite is when we look at it this way. Here is where all of my beautiful books live, and you can see I have my reading chair, and just because it's in season, I have a little ghost there, but obviously he doesn't live there year round just because it's the fall time right now. And then this was the 2nd addition to the book room. I got like these little cubbies and like just to kind of display books and make them look a little bit pretty. And then on this wall here, this was the last addition to the book room, and this is like my nonfiction books and my workbooks, and also some art supplies, like I have my paint supplies and journals and those types of things. This, which we will get into, is newly renovated to be my TBR shelf because my TBR cart was not cutting it. I had books living freaking everywhere, so we have a TBR shelf because it is at that level. I feel like we should start the tour with these shelves here. So hopefully you can see okay. I might do like more of a zoomed up close version, but this is like my main shelf area. So I have like romance and general fiction books on display. This is Catherine Center special edition of Emily Henry and Lucy Score books. Then this next shelf is my book subscription books. So I have all my book of the month books, and then I also have the Aardvark book club books. And I have Christina Lauren in the center because I have a book of the month book that is Christina Lauren, and I like to have my authors together. So I was like, well, I guess Christina Lauren lives here now, so that's where their books are. And then this next shelf down is mainly thrillers and mysteries, and then the shelf below that, I think I'll give you more of like a close-up tour, is more fantasy, and then I have more thrillers on the bottom. And then moving on to this shelf here, I have historical fiction and literary fiction, so my Kristen Hanna's, my Jodi Pico's, those types of things, A Little Life, my Dark Vanessa. And then here is a romance shelf, so I have all my Abby Jimenez, I have Mia Sheridan here, and then I have Amy Leah and Carly Fortune. And these 2 shelves here are my like mainly color-coded ones. So I have a blue shelf, and then I have a pink shelf, which you can kind of see if I tilt you down. So a blue shelf here, pink shelf here, mainly romance books again. And then the bottom is just kind of a random collection of romance books, which, like I said, we'll go through everything a little bit more in depth in a second. Then scooting over to the final and 3rd bookshelf, I have a Magnolia Parks Shrine on my top shelf because naturally, why wouldn't I? And then here I have all of Elsie Silver's books over here, and I just have my Ellen Hildebrand books right here right now. And then this is another romance shelf. This is kind of like YA slash miscellaneous romance. And then the very bottom is YA and Colleen Hoover. All right, but going more close up, if you want more of a close up view, this is this top pretty shelf I was talking about. Catherine Center, special editions, Lucy Score, that type of thing. Down here is all of my subscription books. So like I said, book of the month, and then I have Christina Lauren just because I wanted to keep all of their books together. And then Aardvark Book Club. Next shelf, I have thrillers and mysteries. So you can see I have like Alice Feeney, Lisa Jewell, I have the Natural series and the Inheritance Game series, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and just some more thrillers. Then I have my fantasy shelf. So I have Fourth Wing, Caraval, and then I have the Hunger Games series and also Powerless, and then a random Six of Crows, which I haven't read and I don't have any of the other books in that series. So, and then this bottom shelf here is just more miscellaneous thrillers, and I think they're all thrillers. Let me look. Yeah, I believe these are all thrillers. And moving on to the center shelf, here is my historical fiction and general fiction shelf I was talking about. So all the Kristen Hannas, Jodi Picoults, A Little Life, My Dark Vanessa, The Midnight Library, all of that fun stuff. Then my bright and cheerful romance shelf. So I have Abby Jimenez, Mia Sheridan, Amy Leah, Carly Fortune, and this cute little candle, and it says it smells like a bookstore. I love this candle. One of my clients sent me that and I love it so much. Then I have my blue shelf. So I have like Emily Giffin, Kate Spencer, some Sally Rooney, Kristen Higgins, The Last Love Note. I have 2 copies of The Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey, and then I have other Tessa Bailey books, just anything blue, and it just so happens that most of these are romance. Then I have my pink and my Emily Henry shelf, so I have all of Emily Henry's books and Funny Story on display because it's the only hardcover that I have of her, and then really just anything pink, and I'm pretty sure all of these are romance as well. Oh, except for Honey. Honey's kind of like a general women's fiction, but I think the rest are romance. And the bottom shelf here is just kind of miscellaneous. So I have the fine print in terms and conditions, final offer. What is that series called? Dreamland Billionaires. I have Dreamland Billionaires series. I have all my Elle Kennedy books. I have the Meant to Be series, which is like what is it called? Fairy tale reimaginings. I have my Lindsay Cord books, my Jennifer Milliken books, just other random miscellaneous romances really. Then we have my Magnolia Park shrine. So I have all my UK covers of Magnolia Parks. I have this cute little bee stuffy, which if you've read Magnolia Parks, you understand. I have a bee mug, and then I have a little framed picture that I printed and framed, and it says, how many loves do you get in a lifetime? Then here I have all of my Elsie Silver books. She used to be in a cubby over on the other wall that I showed you, but I outgrew it when I got Wild Love and when I also got her Gold Rush Ranch series, so she needed to be promoted to an actual shelf. So I have all her books and this super cute little cowboy boot candle, and then I just have Ellen Hildebrand right there right now. This shelf is definitely subject to change. I don't love this, but it's working for now. Then I have Jessa Hastings, and I have all the copies of the US Magnolia Parks over here. I have all my Taylor Jenkins Reid, and then I have my Ashley Poston and my special edition 7-Year Slip, which is like my pride and joy. Here's the random shelf I was talking about. So I have like some YA books, some miscellaneous like romances, and then like a Nicholas Sparks stack with Dear Dottie on top. Super random. I don't even know. Then it's really dark down here because my chair is in the way, but this is all YA, and then my Colleen Hoover in the corner. And the center chunk is just kind of like random miscellaneous general fiction. I have like Ghost at a Watchman, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Mars Room, The Measure, The Art of Racing in the Rain, and Water for Elephants. So like the shelf is just weird, honestly. All right, so that is like the grand tour of the main bookshelf area. Here in my little cubbies, they're a little bit more like display pieces. On top of here, I keep my TBR jar. So this is all like TBR prompts in a little jar. And this is like all the books that I read this month that they just sit there and wait for me to film my wrap up. So when I get to my wrap up, you'll see all those books. But this is a fun little light that I got from YouTube, which I think is really cute. And then here is a little basket. It holds all of my million bookmarks. And here is like a special cover of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. My friend got me that in London when she went to London. And then just a cute little fake plant and a picture of my puppy because I love her. And then this lamp I think is really pretty. In the cubbies, I have ACOTAR, which is missing Akamov because it's actually in my like wrap-up stack. But I have ACOTAR here. I have special edition copies of Harry Potter and like the spines make Hogwarts. It's the most beautiful box set. I love it so much. I have Divine Rivals. I have the Addicted Calloway Sister series, obviously on display because they are my heart and soul. I have Boys of Tommen. I have Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I have the Windy City series, again, my heart and soul. And then I have the Shatter Me series. So that's kind of like the overview of this wall in my little book cubbies. And then above that, I just have a F. Scott Fitzgerald quote. This used to be in my bedroom when I lived at my parents', but I thought it went well with the book room theme. Then my most chaotic shelf of all. These are actually anytime I get like handwritten letters or any letters from authors or from you guys or anything like that, I pin them on my bulletin board because it like actually melts my heart. And so that's just kind of like a cluster of fun things that I've received that are really special to me. Then I have a bee balloon my friend got me for my birthday. I have Healing Through Words, which is like a journal by the poet Rupi Kaur. I have A Love Letter to Whiskey, which is one of my favorite books. You know this. I have this cute little like heart teapot, and then I have a little Barbie doll, which if my best friend's watching this, you will understand. No one else will understand why that little creepy doll is sitting there, but she will, and it's hilarious. Then this whole side is just kind of a cluster. I'm just gonna go through really quickly. I have like paint supplies, journals, miscellaneous stuff, nonfiction and memoirs. I have like some poetry, and these are all like my workbooks as my work for like being an eating disorder recovery coach. And then I have Atomic Habits randomly there, and then like more art supplies on the bottom. Super chaotic. We don't really need to talk about that side. Here on the top of this one, I have this like middle finger candle, which I think is so funny. One of my clients sent me that with love, of course, but I thought it was the cutest thing. It's so funny. And then this is from the box that I got for the book Blue Sisters. It says, smells like heartbreak and hope, and it actually smells really good. So I put that there. And then here are some Anna Huang covers, and like they're the colorful ones. So I definitely wanted those like on display so you can see the sprayed edges. And then just a cute little lamp that I got from Walmart, I believe. And then super random, I'm just gonna fly through these. These are like my TBR shelf. So these are like seasonal books I wanna read, some J. Daniels. This is a sports romance series. This is like a seasonal book series. This is Kennedy Ryan's series, and then Lauren Asher's Lakefront Billionaires. Here is mainly random standalones, but again, just kind of random. So I have like Heartstopper, The Last Letter, One Star Romance, some Sarah Adams books, Consider Me, Truly Madly Deeply, Punk 57, Dishonestly Yours, How to End a Love Story, Come Break My Heart Again, Talking at Night, Flying Solo, Humor Me, and Lovely War. And then here's more like my general fiction or fantasy, and like a sprinkle of thriller as well. So I have Ghosts, I have Hero and Moment, Blue Sisters, Fear of the Flames, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, This Will Be Fun, The Last Girl Left, The Unabridged Journals of Sylvia Plath, All the Light We Cannot See, The Vanishing Half, The Glass Girl, The Maid, The Clinic, The Therapist, The It Girl, Such a Bad Influence, and The Switch. And then again, just kind of a random collection of my TBR. I have The Favorites, Savor It, Seven Summers, Same Time Next Summer, Love and Other Lost Things, Love Me, Hotel 21, Exposure. Then in this stack, I have Past, Present, Future, and Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, Wedding Issues, Next to You, The Library of Second Chances, Fool Me Once, and The Problem with Forever. And then over here, I have some fun books that were gifts from Amazon. And then I have The Light We Lost, Mostly Loathing You, Goodbye Again, You First, Anxious People, Nanny Needed, Lo-Fi, It Will Only Hurt for a Moment, and Just Some Stupid Love Story. So this is my huge TBR shelf. That is embarrassing to say that it didn't even fit on my cart, but now we have a shelf for it. All right, you guys, that was the long-awaited, highly requested book room / bookshelf tour. I hope you got all the info you wanted. I know the lighting was really weird. In Washington, it is like rapidly becoming fall, so it is noon and it looks like it's like nighttime because it's so gloomy out. So I'm sorry if the lighting was bad. I hope you like got what you wanted out of this. I hope you kind of have a better idea for the infamous book room where I'm always filming my TikToks and my YouTube videos. Hopefully now you can kind of put the pieces together of what it looks like, and don't be intimidated when you see these big, beautiful shelves on TikTok. Like, you see how chaotic they are. Like, there's really no rhyme or reason to anything. So just organize with your heart and your soul and whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes sense to you. I tend to group as much as I can by genre. I keep authors together, and then when it fits, I'll kind of color code like my fun like blue and pink colorful shelves, but probably my lowest priority is like color coding. I would rather them be functional than like aesthetically pleasing, if that makes sense. But that is all for today's video. Like I said, hopefully you got everything you wanted to know out of this. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Any suggestions for me too, how I can rearrange or make them better, let me know. My shelves are always changing. This is just kind of where we're at the time we're filming this. But that's all for today's video. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Make sure you are following me on all the things. They're always linked down below. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any future videos. I will catch you in the next one. Bye, book besties.